What criteria would you employ to determine appropriate curricula for Edmond Public Schools students? Mr. Harwood, 2 minutes.
Okay, my most important point is reading. In the 1930s, they changed the teaching of reading from the phonics system to the look and say, flashcard, the whole thing. During the Korean War, which are the first beneficiaries of that reading style, they turned away 600,000 registrants because they couldn't read at the military fourth grade level. So it already had an effect. We've been using that same system since the 1930s. We have got to start at the very beginning. We got to start kindergarten through fourth grade to focus on reading skills, make sure they know how to read and not memorize the words, to using flashcards to learn how to read. It just doesn't work. I believe that in middle school we need to start teaching written and oral communication, having debates. I visualize the teacher reading an article, giving it to 2 students, letting one take each side of the argument and learning how to communicate and debate. I think that is critical for their future in high school, college, and even in their profession. The curriculum needs to be rigorous for the core courses. Math is one of the reasons I think that our reading by memorization doesn't work, because we're cramming so much into the minds, because arithmetic, subtraction, addition, multiplication, division is memorization, so it's memorizing a lot.
Time. Ms. King, 2 minutes.
One of the great things that I saw in the No Child Left Behind, our accountability data report card, it talks about the number of highly qualified teachers in the Edmond School District. 65% of the teachers in Edmond's district have a bachelor's, 32, almost 33% have a master's degree. That is a tremendous statistic, whether it was made up on the spot or not. Those are tremendous statistics. That's impressive. I think one of the first places that we should look is to our teachers. The teachers who are spending the time in the classroom are highly qualified, highly educated teachers. U.S. News and World Report ranked Edmond one of the, I think, 5th most educated cities in the country in terms of those coming in with post-secondary, graduate level, and postdoctoral work. Look to our community. If we're wanting to draw it in closer and we want to have our system be about what we are about, I think we should look to the community in developing our curriculum and what we're going to value. And then I think the core standards, which the states are adopting individually as states, the common core set of standards in English, in math, in science, in history, in politics, in understanding how our country came about, what it's about, have basic government knowledge, look to, and then ultimately, I think look to other countries. That might be a scary thing to say. I think look to other countries and the success that they're having, and look to how they're succeeding and how they're developing their curriculum, why their curriculum is succeeding, why they're outperforming with fewer dollars spent per child, and look at how we can integrate that into our own curriculum, even if it's just in methods, not in the actual material.
Ms. Coleman, 2 minutes.
I don't know if you realize, but almost 25% of our students here in Edmond are economically disadvantaged. I hope you're shocked by that. I think it's an amazing fact, because we never consider that when we're talking about our education, I don't think, on person-to-person basis. I know our schools are very aware of it. Our administration is very aware of it. I think we have to get to basics. The 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. Those are important. Those are definitely high priorities. I think technology. Our children are so technologically advanced, that I can't even compete with them. I don't try. They take care of me. I think they need to learn how to do research. so that they can make decisions and weigh positive and negative consequences. And I do believe that we have a need for a job preparation and job readiness attitude toward these students. Without it, how can they succeed in the workplace? And finally, I will point out, I think they need character development. This goes toward attitudes toward each other, how to treat people a little bit better, a little more kindly. And, you know, we've lost a little bit of that character that we had when back many years ago, when my dad was a young man. So I do believe character development should be an emphasis in our educational system.
Mr. Woodham, 2 minutes.
Well, it's a tough wicket. I think California, Texas, Florida, and New York sort of drive the train on textbooks. Usually when our state textbook committee gets books they want us to look at, we may have 2 or 3. By the way, we select textbooks about every 6 years. We rotate math in 6 years, socially 6 years, whatever. It was used to be 5. It's big business. The only true subject that probably you can say is at the local or state level is true is probably the one that requires refreshment. The rest of them, parents can sit down and look at different textbooks. Parents are on our textbook committee with administrators. The teachers do vote on the book that they want. And each book, math may be okay, but I think if you do social studies or civics, there's some issues there as opposed to maybe science would be an issue. But it'd have to be the teachers and the parents, but how are you going to break that cycle of those textbooks coming out? Because those are the 4 probably largest populated states. And the selection of the books I've been told that we get to look at and pretty much filter from what the textbook publishing companies want to be seen. I think last year, the year before, Texas had a big deal over their textbooks. I forgot what it was about. But, it's tough to change curriculum and to make everybody happy and see that their side of the coin is discussed or evaluated in the classroom. But we do the best we can with what we have, and those textbooks just got to do is we just have to evaluate what they send us. Now, if we want to go buy that textbooks usually the state gives us $55 for the textbook a year. Those most of those textbooks cost a lot, so $55.
Mr. Blalock, 2 minutes.
What criteria select curriculum? Well, I have to ask a question first. What's the purpose of public education? The purpose is to produce an educated citizen. So the criteria you select has to be evaluated against producing an educated citizen. An educated citizen is someone who understands civics, understands our constitutional form of government, understands English, understands math, understands science, and understands history. Our curriculum has to support those items. I believe in a classical education. I don't believe in top science deviations off to the side and various other subjects. Those other subjects may be important in the university. I don't think they're important in primary education. I think we need to excel at the basics. Okay, second point though is values. Somebody's values are going to be pushed in school, and the real question is whose values are going to be pushed in school. I don't want international values pushed into school. I want American values pushed into school. American values brought our country to such a wonderful level. You all enjoy such a level of prosperity. I do. I think that's wonderful. As I read the paper, as I talk to my children who are in school right now, I have challenges to those kinds of values. I don't like seeing in a book curriculum that tells me that America is bad, that tells me some other country and some other way of thinking is better. I think we have the best country in the world, and that's the value I want taught. Those values get reflected in our books. If you think I'm kidding, go open one of your children's history books and try reading about George Washington. Some of them you may not actually find a chapter. I think that's a travesty. So, classical education, back to the basics, American values. That's the criteria we use.
Ms. Cameron, 2 minutes.
I think we need major curriculum reform, and we need to be innovative. I would agree that the basis of the foundation of our country and the standards need to be beefed up. I would like for the decisions, the curriculum decisions to be decentralized, and that teachers can be more creative, that our kids would have opportunities to have debate classes. I really would like, in addition to, I don't want to understate the importance of our core classes. When I initially touched on history and government and math, those, but in addition, I feel it's equally important that we give our kids opportunities in the arts and in languages. We know how critical development of a second language and understanding that is to the development of our students in not just foreign language, but in every area of their life, and in understanding another culture, and that's so critical. I would love for Edmond to consider a foreign language immersion school. I would love for us to consider things like online courses or electives where students would have the opportunity, instead of going home when parents are not yet home from their jobs and sitting there and doing homework or playing Xbox, but to have the opportunity to take an elective online. You mentioned how advanced they are in technology, how my 12-year-old son is sitting back there can pretty much run me through an Excel program and do things that he wasn't even taught. It's innate to them. So why not give them the opportunity to do things at even starting at a middle school level? So I would like to see beef up the curriculum in history and in math, and decentralized decisions, and to give our kids more opportunities and a greater variety of core